and today I will be teaching you how to make some celery rainbow snacks. The purpose of this video is to teach kids at a young age to keep rainbow colors on their plate. It helps to ensure that when they get old and into adulthood, they can keep a well-balanced and healthy diet. Now today we will be needing green grapes, some cream cheese, celery sticks, an orange, a banana, some blueberries, and some strawberries, as well as a cutting board and a knife. Now first we will need to cut the celery sticks in about 3/4 inches long. You can cut about as many as you would like. Make sure to cut the ends off where they're dried out. Now I'll be keeping a plate on the side for trashes that I won't be keeping. Now make sure that if your younger kid's helping you with this video, they get to help hand you something, or at least that way they're interactive. You can talk without them the purpose of each different fruit and piece of food we'll be using and how it'll help them in their nutritional daily life. Now I cut some of these pieces a little bit longer than the others, but that's okay. I kind of messed up.
Keep going, we'll edit it.
I think these are too short. Make sure to cut off the brown parts. They're not the best to eat. They're supposed to be this size. Now, if they're like that, it's best not to use them, just put them to the side. Alright. Now that you have all your celery cut, you'll need your cream cheese. Make sure to wash all of your celery and fruit ahead of time too. Now, just take a knife and fill each piece of celery with cream cheese right down the center. Make sure they're packed full. And if you want, you can make it a little bit more fancy with getting a certain type of flavored cream cheese, depending on what your kids like. But I just got regular for today. Children, be sure to have adult supervision before cooking and handling knives. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it will be a little bit time consuming to make sure that you get all the cream cheese in there. Alrighty, now after filling each piece of celery with cream cheese, we're going to need to stick these in the fridge while we cut our fruit. You can use the same cutting board. You can put those on a paper plate and put them in the fridge, or use the same cutting board, but I'm going to grab a separate one. Now first, you can wipe down your knife too if you prefer. Are they coming in? Now next, we're going to move on to our banana. Now I'm only going to peel back a little bit and end up eating the rest later. You can give it to your kids while you're making this snack. You can give them the rest of that orange, just with some fruit here and there. Or you can save it for their lunch, whatever you prefer. Now we're just going to take it and slice them. Not too thick. Oops, I lost one. Not too thick, not too thin. Whatever you really prefer. Then just cut them in half. We're just going to keep them in halves for now because we might end up needing to cut them smaller depending on the size of your celery. Some run bigger than the others. Now next, we can take our blueberries. These blueberries, you're just going to take them and cut them right in half. They're so small. Make sure to be careful when cutting these because they can get a little bit slick, run away from you. Now this, you can just eyeball it, make sure it's about enough as you think you would celery. Not everyone's going to make the same amount. There's no particular amount. If you want to put a certain fruit on there, maybe depending on how big your celery is, more than the other, perfectly well to do so. Maybe your kid is allergic to a piece of fruit, can't have it, replace it with another. Alright, next we're going to start cutting our strawberries. Just grab the green part, cut that right off, and trash it. Then just take these, cut them right down the center. Like I said, you can just take these, cut them in half again. Might end up cutting the bigger slices, you can cut those again. There we go. Depending on how big your strawberries are, you might not need as many. Alright. Cut those in about 1/4 again. In some pieces, they will be a little bit bigger than the other, but that's okay as long as you get that color in there. Next, we're going to take a few grapes and cut those as well. Now the only color I couldn't find was purple because we didn't have any purple grapes in store this season. So that's the color that I will be sadly leaving out, but the rest of the rainbow's in there. Get these grapes, just cut them in half, then half again, then half again for each one. Make sure you pre-wash all of your fruit, get all that dirt off of there. If you think you need to cut the halves again in half, go for it. It's not going to hurt anything. Alrighty, now it's time we can get our celery sticks out of the fridge. Here we go. Alrighty, now we'll just need to top some fruit on top of the celery. Start with one piece, I'll show you, and then just repeat it for the rest. So you're going to take your red pieces first, just top it right there. Then you're going to take some orange, your yellow as a piece of banana, your blueberries as your blue. You can probably, if you want, go ahead and just top a whole blueberry on there. That way it's equivalent to the rest of your fruit. I didn't quite think that through. And then top some pieces of grapes on there. And there you have it, some rainbow celery sticks. Now just repeat the steps for the rest.